starting with the basic fundamental Mr. Magic beat that is pretty much universal, but go-go kind of adopted it in the early days, and it's really the underlying bass beat of a lot of the patterns we play. So I'm going to play that for you. Mr. Magic. So go slow it down. Put a swing on the hi-hat, more of a swing. I had to stop with Mr. Magic, right? The original, basic, fundamental beat that the go-go is, right? Mostly, Mr. Magic, it was a straight hi-hat like this. It wasn't a swing. So like I said, then we took it, slowed it down, put the swing on it, right? That's another distinguishing thing, that the long hi-hat. Tricky with the hi-hat. So even with the same foot pattern and snare pattern, you can do different things with the hi-hat, different swing, and even change the pattern where it's technically not the same beat. So this is just the beginning, right? So or you can play it straight. So then we start adding the doubles. Now it's starting to branch off into different variations of that Chuck Brown beat. All right, so that's one, right? So then as the 90s came in and time went on, and these beats started to evolve, you started getting more, instead of it going all the way through the foot. So then we started doing more where that last kick, that got taken out, right? Kind of like that pause right there. Or that space, not a pause. Which is, like that's one of the most played patterns across all genres, right? So, and I want to make this point too, because when we say go-go play the same beat, why is that like the same beat? How many rap songs got the same beat? Most reggae has the same beat, right? Or very similar, just like go-go, or rock, or most genres have the same similar beat. That's what kind of determines the genre, or which is congruent or prevalent or more often used in those specific genres. So it's just funny that people always want to single out go-go and say it's the same beat, and it's mostly because they're not listening or not trained or familiar or understanding the nuances, right? But so that's one of the most famous. Keep on moving, don't stop. DMX Jones. We can go through a bunch of songs, right? So it kind of started going more like that. Then you can mix it with the Chuck Brown beat. beats like, I don't know, we kind of call it the deep socket, right? Which is, it's not a specific go-go beat. It's not, go-go didn't bring this beat out. We just, we just solidified it probably. And, we slow it down, and the way we play it, of course, it gives it a new character, new color, new title, basically, but this. Pattern, right? What we call Give Me That Beat. Like I said, plenty of genres use this beat. But I can give you, so Blame It on the Alcohol, the Snoop Pimps in the Crib, man, Drop It Like It's High, Drop It Like It's Hot, Bring 'Em Out, right? So it's plenty of songs, but we call it Give Me That Beat. Go-go is very foot heavy, okay? So that's another one. On the song Start the Party, when I played with the Huck-a-bucks, I had like a mixture of that beat and, the typical Mr. Magic beat evolved into the 90s, went something like this. Right? And you got like the beat from Lock It and I don't know, I call it the Dougie beat, right? Another pattern. So when I played with the Huck-a-bucks, Roy came in and said, Blue Eyed Darryl got a beat for y'all, right? So that's a variation of this beat. So when we're doing Can I Get Down, Can I Get Down, the Rollaton part of Can I Get Down is that beat I just played. Shall we do this? And then when you come in and say, get down, with the get down, we go to the congos, this is the beat. Took some of those hits off the snare and put them on the kick. So instead of it being, it's right. So that's, like I said, that's just one beat and one slight variation that I happen to have experience because from my days with the Huck-a-bucks and the beat that Blue Eyed, the way he created that variation. So that's, so all these beats have these, different pathways, channels that they branch off, and different drummers add their thing and what they, add what they do it to, add their variation to it, switch it the way they want, as they, as they feel it or as it pertains to the groove or song they're playing, right? So how many does that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 beats already? So then you got the one-on-one, right? That's what we call the one-on-one from the essence song, the one-on-one. Go-Go didn't invent this beat, this drum pattern, right? So it's turnaround, and mostly every go-go band has a groove with that one-on-one beat and that turnaround, which I think that turnaround was created by Foots, right? So Junkyard does it, Backyard. I mean, any band, pretty much any band, and a lot of bands actually do play the one-on-one. So, or their variation or their, rendition of it. But let's go to rise, the backyard joint. Don't who gonna stop looking at me? Do do do. Trying to think of what that is. Do do do. Y'all remember that joint? That's a variation of the one-on-one. But Buggy added. That's just one variation of the one-on-one. One example I can think of off the top of my head. So that's another one, right? Then you got, I call it the Owl Baby beat, because in my mind, Northeast was, made it famous for me. But I'm pretty sure, I know Foots and them was playing this beat. Probably Mass Extinction, Trouble Funk, and all the bands. I don't want to leave nobody out. I'm just using the main bands that I know, that most people know, that may be familiar with these grooves. But like, that's probably played it more like that with that tempo. But Northeast had the Owl Baby, do me. Just another pattern, right? Young Groovers used to have a groove called I forget what it was called. This is like a variation of one-on-one again, right? Right. So, like I said, it's numerous variations of these beats that happened over time. Like I said, I'm just giving you a few just to show you and to demonstrate that go-go is not the same beat, right? And of course, all bands don't play all these beats, but there are the typical regular pocket beat, which derived from the Chuck Brown beat, right? It's like a regular pocket. Give me a pocket, that's usually what the drummer will play. Then you got that like deep socket beat, or like, I call it the deep socket beat, right? Right? Most bands are gonna play those beats, right? Then you got, you take the regular pocket beat and you double each time. That beat is going to be played with more of a socket, more of a high Congo beat. The pocket is buck, buck, boom, boom, buck, buck, boom, boom, buck. That's usually the pocket. The socket beat usually involves the high Congo, or a more intricate pattern that's outside of that regular pocket beat. So you got that. Okay, I gave you the first two. So give me that beat. Bands are going to be playing that beat, right? If you think about Northeast Groovers, I can see clearly now. Jeff did this with that beat. What a rush. I can see clearly now. Same as Give Me That Beat, just took the snare hits out. Jammin' Jeff, better play that snare, boy. Another one, right? So just to demonstrate that go-go is definitely not the same beat. There are a lot of variations of patterns, which may sound similar because you got to think the congas are going, the congos, we call them congos, are being played along with the drums on all these beats or patterns. And the conga beats and patterns are changing too, but just because you're hearing the congas and the drums in the same mix, in the whole show, or every time you hear go-go, it's this similar, it's a standard way that it's mixed and done. So if you're not familiar with it, it's going to sound like it's the same beat. And then you have the cowbell, because after the groove, in between the music, the pocket, the beat break, the pocket, the socket is dropped, and then the cowbell comes in, or even along with the groove. So that could make it seem like it's the same beat. And then the fact that go-go doesn't stop, right, could like psychologically trick you into thinking that it's the same beat because it never stopped. Now, and another thing that just hit me, the tempo of go-go is usually consistent through the whole night. It's usually not fluctuating not too much, right? And the bounce beat they do, they'll slow it down. It's the same patterns. Now the bounce beat is usually is very close to being the same beat played every night, even though there are variations of the bounce beat determined by the music or the groove or song that's being played, but that could sound like the same beat too. And I think that is more so true with the bounce beat than with go-go that has the swing, right? So saying all that to say, the bounce beat, the go-go, the same beat. What was I about to say? So when you're playing, I was saying the tempo. Now there are times, where a tempo change might happen, but it's usually, somewhere, go-go's usually somewhere in between 85 beats per minute and 90 tops, right? Now, back in the early days with Essence and Body Moves and Chuck Brown and Bustin' Loose and some of Trouble Funk stuff, in the early days, some of EU stuff, those songs, the go-go in general was faster. It was a faster tempo. That was the standard at the time. But over time, it has slowed down. It's more slow, right? The crowd moves and the dances and the two-step and the coolness of the whole atmosphere and situation, it calls to be slow, and the alcohol, and that's just the culture, right? It's just a slower beat. So like I said, the average would be, average go-go tempo, I think overall, if you really average it all, would be 85 beats per minute, right? So you got some bands, vibe, right? They're doing more covers with songs. They're singing songs, usually R&B songs, right? Their tempo may sit around 82, 84. They usually tend to play a little slower, what we call grown and sexy, because the vocalist is singing songs. So, and they're usually R&B songs. So, it's, you're not really singing fast, R&B. It's some up-tempo R&B songs. I'm just saying the ones that go-go bands choose to play because they fit the swing. The song has to usually fit the swing. And the go-go swing, once it gets too fast, like past 90, it takes away from the swing and the impact of the swing. So you will have, bands that do that. And in my day, with the big butch bands, and we came up and Blade, right? We had Total Groove, Potential, Progression, and Regency was the big butch bands we looked up to, right? Like this Maryland circuit of go-go bands, Progression, Regency, Certified Funk, Total Groove, I think Legacy, and we had a thing called the Deep Socket, right? And so we talking about early 90s. So even 90s, 91, 92, we played faster at that time too, because like I said, it was just starting to change from Essence and then the younger bands and, a lot of basement bands like we were, emulating what they were doing. So we might have been playing Give Me That Beat at an up-tempo speed. Give me that beat. Which is probably about 88, somewhere around 90, right? Somewhere between 88 and 90. And then we would drop it down into what we call the deep socket. And so the way, the fact that it was going at that speed would you would really feel that when it dropped, it created a, you know what I'm saying, created an energy shift. And that's what was so cool about it, and why it made it so impactful, because when you dropped it down to the deep socket from that fast, you know, from we playing that faster tempo, it hit the people, and you know, it kind of put you into a different groove. So it kind of went like, give me that, baby. But yeah, I'm trying to remember how I used to play them sockets. And like that's part right there when the drummer would kind of get loose with like a lot of pauses and things like that. But I know that's what we call it, a deep socket. And that's the beat I showed you earlier. That's why I call it a deep socket, because that's the pattern that I remember from when we used to drop it down, right? Jeff joint, that was the famous Jammin' Jeff joint. But yeah, so that's kind of, you know, my definition and take on it. But yeah, and like, so Junkyard, it's like Junkyard tapes, the older Junkyard tapes, they own buckets and stuff still. I remember a lot of them being slow, like real slow, 80, 82, whatever, 81, 80. Like even that deep socket probably was going down to 78, you know, when I think about it. But just the impact it had from dropping it to that tempo was great. And like then the cowbell would come in real hard. And that was the thing at the time. But like I said, over time, the beat changes, the tempos change. But more than likely now, it's around 85 beats per minute. It's various patterns. It's various patterns that are tributaries or branches, or you know, from other patterns for different reasons. And go-go is definitely not the same beat. And I hope I have explained that in great detail. Till the next time, Chief, keep it brief. Hey, y'all, keep it cranky, y'all.